Next up on the iceberg is the Dark Waters, second to last section. I only have 4 entries here, so not too many, but all of them are pretty interesting. Starting with, each of the 5 mansions represent the 5 stages of grief. This is a random theory I had, and unlike a later one on the list, I don't actually know who made it, and nobody's actually gave a real explanation, so I can't really credit whoever made it. However, I decided it'd be interesting to give my own explanation. So the first stage of grief is denial, and Gloomy Manor is denying. I have no idea. It's similar to the mansion from the original game. Next is anger, and Garden Suite seems to have 2 mansions, so maybe anger, I'm not really sure. Next up is bargaining, which is the old clockworks, and I suppose that would be just having a lot of machinery. Next is secret mind, depression, and it's sad and gloomy, so I guess I get that one. Next is treacherous mansion, which is acceptance, and I guess it's accepting all the different mansions. I have no idea what the theory is about, but I guess it was pretty interesting to come up with my own ideas. Shiverburned Galaxy from Galaxy 2 takes place near Evershade Valley. Now, this could be true, I'm not too sure, but there is a lot of ice in Shiverburned Galaxy, so it could be near the secret mine portion. Who knows, because we see creatures looming over those valley sky trees, and who knows, maybe those are greenies, because they have a similar shape. Maybe they just appear to be, have those limbs because of the way they're peeking out. Before death, Captain Fishhook was a snaggle shark from TKCR. So the snaggle shark was a shark enemy with big teeth that jumped out of the waters in the beach area of Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. And these guys also use, explosives to defeat. So who knows, maybe they could be like Captain Fishhook. They have a lot of teeth, so maybe that's the kind of shark he was. Egad almost died twice making Luigi. So, as we all know, Luigi was created by Egad, and we've gone over Egad's research journal, but one thing you may not know is that Egad died not once, but twice trying to make Luigi. The first time was getting the goo stuck to his face, and the second time was, I believe, the same thing, and he had to wash it off. But because there was water nearby, and Luigi is, as we all know, he's vulnerable to water, that's how Egad lived. So next up, I think I'll just get into the Abyss here. So fishing off a coat in C1 in the first mission of Old Clockwork suggests someone got crushed in the Old Clockworks, which is why it shut down. We see a coat jammed in some gears, and considering that Egad said it shut down a long time ago, maybe that's the reason it shut down. It's a pretty morbid theory, but I think it's an interesting one with a lot of evidence I came up with. Next up is, who was the treacherous mansion owner? And this is a theory that I talked about from u/LapisLazuli is the best on Reddit, and I'll link the post in the description below. Basically, he came up with a theory for who owned the mansions. He said that the poltergeists owned the Gloomy Manor, which kind of makes sense because it's like a servant's chamber, a manor, and the ghosts maybe work there. Next up, from the Haunted Towers, the 3 sisters own it. Of course, we already know that. In Old Clockworks, the ancient poltergeist might not only own it, but he also might have been worshipped. And he was in the tomb, but when he was awoken, he might have cursed the rest of Evershade Valley to turn them into ghosts, as the theory states by him. As for Secret Mine, well, the owner, I'm not too sure, and I don't recall what he said exactly, or she, but it does seem pretty interesting, and I think it might be another poltergeist. I'm not really too sure. Personally, I think it might be one of the possessor ghosts, considering he works in a surveillance area, so who knows, it could be him. Next up, we have Treacherous Mansion, and the owner, well, we're not too sure about that, but as far as I can tell, I think the owner of Treacherous Mansion might either be one of the possessors, or it could be the strong poltergeist we encounter here. Who knows? Now, this is another theory I had for who is the Treacherous Mansion owner, like I just mentioned. And this is a question I've asked myself, and I'm not too sure. It could be Dr. Potter from Luigi's Mansion 3, considering I like the quick gardening, which is here. Overall, I really like the theories that u/LapisLazuli is the best came up with, and if you want to check out the post yourself, you can, and I think it's pretty interesting, so I'd recommend doing so. Next up, how did the boss ghosts die in Luigi's Mansion 3? So, I'm not really too sure how they died. This is our final entry. I think Stewart got crushed by luggage. I think Chambrea, she had allergies. Crower probably either overate or he got shot. I think Chef Souffle might have gotten burned or food poisoning. Then there's Amadeus Wolfgeist, who might have had a heart attack considering how angry he gets. King Frights might have been jousted to death. Dr. Potter, probably old age. Morty, it was probably in a movie accident. Ugg was probably got eaten by a T-Rex, considering he's inside a T-Rex in this battle. Clem, probably from being underground so much. Thurkey, probably from being old and ancient and in a tomb. Then Nicky, Luigi, and Ginny from the magic trick, maybe in the water tank. Captain Fisher, probably from being caught or turned into shark fin soup, who knows. As for Johnny Deepend, well, I think, can't really tell, but he is pretty strong, maybe he benched too much. DJ Phantasmagoria, the music was probably too loud. I have heard someone say that she might have needed chemotherapy, considering she's bald. That's pretty morbid, though, even for me, so I don't really think that's true. Helen Gravely, I think she might have died to be with King Boo, or all the ghoul paint makeup she uses on her skin that Egad mentions, and Polter Kitty might have been born a ghost. So these are just my theories, and most of it from the Dark Waters and the Abyss were a bunch of theories, and the reason I included both these together is because I'm sorry I haven't been uploading lately. I've been pretty busy, but I have another Luigi Dimension video, might just be my last one. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed the Iceberg. Goodbye.